So here are the three main models of outsourcing. There's DIY, do it yourself, there's recruiting, and there's staffing. Understanding the difference between the three will help you understand what's the right option for you. So let's jump in. Now, next, let's talk about how outsourcing works. There's three primary models, and each of them has their different pros and cons. So on the very left side here, the first model is the do-it-yourself model. So the pros are it's the most cost-effective option. You have the most control over the entire process. But some of the cons are it's time-consuming. It's also difficult if you don't have a proven recruiting process, and it's burdensome if you don't have someone administrating. Now, what I want to say is with do-it-yourself, that's the column you eventually want to get to. Once you have the experience, you're ready to really expand and grow your team. That's the model to go for. That's the model we went with when we built our team to 40 people. Now, the middle column is the recruitment, headhunting, direct placement, or direct hire. Those are all the same terms for the same thing. So the pros here are it increases your speed and your certainty of success. There's no markup on team compensation. You have more control of how you want to build a core team under your company culture. You learn how to manage and build an internal team effectively through somebody else's already proven process. But the cons are you're still responsible for HR admin duties like time tracking, payroll, etc. So how a recruitment company makes money is they typically charge a percent of the annual salary. And currently 25 to 35% is market right now. So for example, if they find you a hire that makes $10,000 a year, they'll charge you a fee of $2,500 to $3,500. And it's a one-time fee. There's no markup on additional compensation. Now, the third part is staffing. So with staffing, the pros are it increases your speed and certainty of success. You start to offload your HR admin duties. Some of the cons, though, are it's, of course, the most costly option of the three. The team members are technically working for the staffing company and not your team members, which has its pros and cons, right? The cons of that are, sometimes they're not as integrated into your company culture, but some of the pros are there's always going to be somebody in that seat. So how staffing companies make money is they charge a spread between what they pay the worker and what they charge you. There also may be additional one-time fees such as onboarding, initial placement, different fees depending on the company. So you can see on the left side, you have the most control over your team with the DIY. On the right side with staffing, you have the least amount of control. On the left side, it's the most cost-effective, but it's the most work for you. On the right side, it's the least cost-effective, but it's also the least amount of work for you. And recruitment kind of sits somewhere in the middle. So if you don't have a lot of experience with building your outsourced team, I recommend you start working with either a recruitment or a staffing company. And then from there, learn their processes, learn how they do it, and eventually move into the DIY column.